Well, I'm joined now by the Economic Secretary to the Treasury, Stephen Barclay. So, Mr. Barclay, good evening to you. I mean, it was really striking at the CBI today, the lukewarm reception Theresa May received. Are you in danger of losing the business vote?
No, we had extensive engagement with business throughout the summer and leading into the autumn. There's been a whole series of roundtables with industry leaders, business forums, listening to the voice of industry. And that was very much reflected in the Florence speech that the Prime Minister gave and in her remarks today. And if you look at the feedback to the Florence speech, business very much felt that they had been listened to, their message had been heard, and the desire for clarity from the government had been given.
But we also heard from Paul Drexler, the CBI president. He actually said on stage that the negotiations over Brexit are becoming like a soap opera. I mean, there was no new detail from the PM today on the transitional arrangement, no clarity whatsoever.
Well, the Florence speech moved things forward. Obviously, there's both sides that need to come to the table and be imaginative in response to the challenge on Brexit. But the government has set out that we want an ambitious free trade agreement covering goods and services, and has very much listened to the voice of business in seeking a transition deal and seeking for as much certainty as soon as possible. And that's been a key ask as Financial Services Minister from the industries I've spoken to, and it's been a key ask of the Chancellor. And that message from business has been listened to, it's been heard, and is very much our approach.
So when do you think we might get some more detail on the timing of a transitional agreement?
Well, obviously, that's in part linked to the response for the European Union. We've got the December Council, which will be a key point in this. But we're very excited on the fact that industry wants as much certainty as soon as possible. Contingency plans around Q1 in particular, as the CBI themselves said today, will be at a key point. And so it's in both sides' interest. It's not in the EU 27's interest to have fragmentation costs in areas like financial services, or for there to be greater financial instability as a result of areas such as on contract continuity, on data protection and those sort of issues. So it's in both sides' interest to have a transition deal agreed as soon as possible. And that's what business wants, it's what the UK government wants, and it's what we're discussing with the European Union.
I just wonder what you made of Anna Soubry, your colleague Anna Soubry's comments on Twitter today, where she said by aligning yourselves with hard Brexit, by making yourselves the party of hard Brexit, the Conservatives are actually allowing the most left-wing Labour Party of all time to present itself as more pro-business.
Well, there's a range of views on Twitter at any point, but the point is that business want a transition deal. They want as much certainty as possible on that, and that's very much Anna's view that there should be a transition deal, and it's the government's view. So actually we're in line on that point. Where business are in terms of the opposition is they have no idea what their actual Brexit policy is. It constantly is changing, whether it's Keir Starmer or other members of the Labour front bench. You get a very different story one week to the next. The bottom line is we need a transition deal as soon as possible. That is what both Anna Soubry and the government have called for.
All right, Stephen Barclay, we've got to leave it there. Thanks for joining me.